Hello, welcome back to Astronoscope Workshops. I've got a little job to do. I made a whole bunch of these ferrules, as the guy that I made them for calls them, which are for cables, for swanky hi-fi cables. And apparently, the way that they work is that these thick cables here go through, and the cables come out through these two holes. You can see there's two holes there and a big hole at the other end. And I made them about a month ago for him. The problem is that he forgot that the cable's got these pieces of cable tie on it. So when you get down to the sorry, not cable ties, the heat shrink tubing, when you get down to the heat shrink tubing, it doesn't go on anymore. So what he realised is that those shouldn't have been two holes. That should have been a slot. Now the problem is that I've obviously already made these. So when I made those, it was quite easy. I just put them in the vise with a on a V block, and drilled a hole, moved it across. I think it's 250 thou. Drilled another hole. Now the problem now I've got is that I can't re-register them in the machine to cut the slot. Cutting the slot's easy, but registering it's not so easy. So what I've done is I've turned two little, I don't know what you call them, little studs, and those studs go into the hole like that. Okay, they go in there, and then I can get my straight edge along the edge of there and line them up square in my vise, and I'll show you how that works. So all I do is I put these little alignment pegs, I suppose you could call them, which are just turned up in the lathe. I'll just put those little alignment pegs in there, just slacken the vise off. Here, look, I'll just move it into. First of all, what I tend to do, or I've done one already, and I'll show you the results. But I just put that in there. Then that doesn't ride flat on there, so I just tap that down until my square is riding flat on the vise. And then you can see there that if I just tap that one round, it goes square. It's now square there with the vise. So that now is running square to the vise. So if I take those out, all I have to do now is tricky to get out. All I have to do now is get this lined up with a hole, like that. That's actually at 250. If I go back to 0 at this end, that should, oops, gone too far. Where am I going? 0. So that should be somewhere near that hole. I think I just want to go across ever so slightly. Oops. So that's basically in line with that hole. There we go, that's in that hole there. So if I just zero, I'm going to go into the middle here and just take that web out, take that middle web out. Okay, and now all I need to do is just go across the middle and clean it up. And then back the other way, clean up the other way. And that is basically it. It's not absolutely perfect. You can see on there that it's ever so slightly not flat on those sides there. However, once you get the cable in here, this is the one I've done already, and if I slide this in here, if I slide this cable in, you'll see when it gets to the actual that will go through, of course. I can't quite get it. There you go. You can see the heat shrink coming through there now. So they will pass through, and of course you won't see the inside of that slot because the cable will be on there like that. So that's basically how I'm doing it, and it seems to be working. I've just got 10 to do. Well, I've got 8 to do now because I've done 2. So let's take that one out, and there you go. Just needs a little fettle with the deburring tool along that edge there. There you go. Just to break that edge, and that's it. That's job done. There you go.